Hi, I'm JJ Conway, and I help hardworking women and a few good men build financial confidence and take ownership of their financial future. I'm cheering you on with education on financial literacy, smart investments, and passive income streams. Welcome to Ladies of Wealth.
I was telling you all about the gift card scam. So a lot of us are familiar with the gift card scam where somebody's calling us and they say they need a gift card and they want us to buy the card and then we read the code over the phone. That is absolutely a scam. No reputable business is going to do that. But this is a different scam. Okay, this is one where people are harvesting the backs of they're harvesting the number from the back of the card, and then they are putting the card back, waiting for somebody else to buy it. And then when somebody buys it, now they are, excuse me, when somebody else buys it, now they are actually draining that card once it's been activated. Okay. And so there's a lot of issues with this. In fact, when I was researching this, I found out you can actually buy the little gray scratch off strips on Amazon itself. And so Amazon is aware of the problem, but a lot of times, unless you're buying your code directly from Amazon, they're going to refer you back to the store. So wherever you're buying the gift cards from, make sure it's a reputable store that has fail safes in place or that has a policy that they'll adjust it. I have not done enough research to recommend or not recommend certain places where you can get gift cards, because you can get gift cards at a lot of places now. You can get them in the grocery store, and they can get them for all different kinds of businesses, in Sam's or Costco or things like that. Even Best Buy, you know, you can get them at Lowe's. Lowe's had a big collection of gift cards. We used to get all of our gift cards for Christmas gifts that we were going to give. We used to get those from Lowe's because it was closer than, Lowe's was only 45 minutes away. It wasn't an hour and a half away like Sam's, right? So we used to do that. That's a very real problem. So especially with Amazon, if you're going to buy Amazon e-gifts for people, buy it through the website, and then one thing you can do is get somebody's Amazon email address or their Amazon account number or their Kindle email address. Because when you shop with Amazon and any electronic digital delivery capacities, Amazon creates an email account for you. It's something at Kindle.Amazon or whatever it is, but it's an Amazon unique identifier email style. You can't receive email at it. It's how Amazon knows to send whatever digital product you have to your device. Okay, and so you want to use that, especially with Amazon in the future, or go to Amazon yourself directly, buy the code from Amazon, and then give that code to your gift recipient. Okay, that's the best way to avoid these kinds of scams. Now you might say, well, what about the places where if you get a gift card you can't use? And I actually think this is a fabulous business model. Okay, I actually think this is a fabulous business model. If you ask me about what about the places, hold on a second. If you ask me, what about the places that take your unwanted gift cards and give you a cash balance for them, and then they resell them at a discount to somebody else? Like, I think that's a fantastic business model. Like, it is serving a need. I made the joke earlier, and if you're listening to this on the podcast, it's going to be a couple episodes back. But as we break up the podcast for production. But I made the comment earlier that I don't, it doesn't do me any good. I love Macy's. It's 3 hours away. I love Target, but it's 2 hours away. Like, I'm not going to drive 2 hours each way to spend a $25 gift card. I've not used the service. I just save them all. And then when I get to the Metroplex, we kind of try to hop around to all the stores we like and we make a day of shopping. But, you know, if someone had scammed me if you had bought a Target gift card and someone pulled that scam and they drained the card, it might be months before I know, because it might be 6 months before I get in town for a shopping day to go hit all the stores and spend all the cards. All right. So I'm not really a huge, big gift card person anyway. even though I haven't used the service, I think the service is a fantastic idea. You've got gift cards that people can't use, or it's the places that they don't want. And so you give them their gift card, you get a little cash out of it, they resell it to somebody else at a lower value. That company makes money, you make money, the new person gets a discount. I mean, that's a win-win-win-win. Yeah, a win for you, a win for the main company, a win for the person getting the discount. And if that person for getting the discount gives the gift to somebody else, well, then they get a win too. That's a quadruple win. All right. Y'all know I love the triple win, but that's a quadruple win. So I love all the wins, right? But if it's an unscrupulous company that's like keeping those numbers, or they accidentally, because instead of you mailing the card, they say, just give us the number. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean they aren't legit, but you might want to check the reviews before you re-gift that card, because they might be taking the cards in and faking and faking that they gave you an empty number, but they may have already emptied the card. Okay, so you just want to watch out for those kinds of things. And if you watch out for those kinds of things and you pay more attention to how you're buying the card, then that will help you to prevent from getting scammed. All righty. I think we are at the end of our time tonight. I can't believe the call went quite so long. I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. I'm going to go ahead and remind you again to check out our sponsor, Make Wellness. You can go to jjclink.com/make. That's jjclink.com/make. And if you go to the main page, this is not the main page. Let me put that on the main page. This is their main page that you can go to. Okay. And you can check out the peptides that are used to help you elevate your nutrition, your fitness, your health, and unlock your potential. These are products that I love. I've been using them for 2 months. I find that their Energize keeps me awake just as well as sodas used to. I enjoy the fit in the morning. It really helps get things moving and helps overcome some of the culinary sins I may have committed the previous day. I do also like the Hydrate. It's my favorite one. And like I said, there is a price, because you're getting a box of 30 though. It's not just the same 10 pieces you get, or 6 pieces. Some of those things, they only come in 6, like $15 for a pack of 6 stick packs for hydration, and anything that's going to energize or that's going to help curb appetite is going to cost even more in the grocery store. So these are very, very appropriately priced, and I hope that you will join me in trying them. Also, this company has a business opportunity that does not cost anything. That's one of the reasons why I feel comfortable recommending this, because it doesn't cost anything for you to get started. It doesn't cost anything for you to make money. It doesn't cost anything. No monthly fees for your website, no materials, minimum fee every month, none of that with this company. So if I recommend it to you, I'm not worried that you're going to lose money on it. Just make sure you follow my sound financial principles as you approach the business. We are not buying storerooms full of product. We're not buying storerooms full of any of these companies, whether it's makeup or whether it's toys or any of these network marketing kind of companies. We are not buying a whole stock room or a whole closet. We're not turning our closet into a makeup or hair care or facial care or jewelry store. We are buying what's needed, and we are buying stuff for us to try, and we are buying what clients are interested in, and we are starting small and growing big. And if the people have the success with these products that I've had with these products, they are going to want to buy more and more of them. The product, everybody always says the product sells itself. Well, this product really does sell itself. So if you're looking for the business, I encourage you to go to that main page, jjclink.com/make, and then click the join. But if you're just looking for some good, healthy products, click that shop and get to buying. You're going to love it. I promise you will. What is the process for possessing a tax property that remains occupied by the owners? Who do I contact and how do I remain anonymous? I'd like to work it out for them to catch up and retain the property. That is an excellent question. I'm going to go into detail on that later. The short answer is going to be that it depends. It depends on the rules of your state, and it depends on what the policies and procedures are for eviction. So in most states, when you buy a property, let me see what they said again. Did they say tax sale or did they say tax certificate? What exactly did they say? They said tax property. So there's 3 different kinds of tax properties, okay? There's 3 different kinds of tax properties, and there's tax sales, tax liens, and tax certificates. I mean, there's tax deeds, tax liens, and tax certificates. Some states like I think North Carolina, you're just buying the property. Texas is a tax deed state. You buy the property. Some other states like Maryland, Maryland is a tax lien property. When you pay the tax, that tax becomes a lien against the property, and it has to be paid off before anybody can profit from selling the house. It gets paid before the banks get paid. So it's a pretty good, solid investment as long as the property itself is intact. Okay. The way you obtain ownership in each of those is different. I will not dig into that today. I'm going to do a quick answer because you took the time to ask the question, but I'll answer it more greatly when we get into our third Thursday, which is real estate. Our second Thursday is 7-figure business building, and then our fourth Thursday is the empowered entrepreneur, how to be the person who has and does and attracts the things that you want out of life. And so they're all very powerful lessons. And even if you don't think you're ever going to be a real estate investor, I encourage you to be on Thursdays. But the short answer with the tax sales is if you're in a state where you're buying a tax lien and somebody's in the house, you're going to have to foreclose on that house. And once you foreclose on that house and the house actually becomes yours, then you can begin the process. I mean, you can begin the process at any time, but until the house is yours, you have no rights to have anything to do with those tenants. So once the house becomes yours, you can let them know that you're the owner, and then here's the new lease, and you say it can be effective whatever date that you pick, and you would then challenge them to produce a different lease, because in Maryland you do have to uphold the existing lease. If the property is in foreclosure, there's probably a pretty good chance that those people that are renting it either aren't on an actual valid lease anymore, or they are month to month, and so you work with the existing lease. And when that lease is up, you get them the new lease, or if you want them out completely, you tell them their lease is not being renewed. If they don't go quietly into the night, we'll talk on Thursday. We'll talk about some ways to overcome that and what to do about it. And then there are other things that you can do. You can do cash for keys, or you can file for eviction. Okay. If you're in a tax deed state, then you have to, for all of the tax sales, there's always a time period of redemption. So for example, in the last Louisiana tax sale, I got a bunch of properties at 100% ownership, which means as far as Bossier City is concerned, I am the 100% owner of a whole bunch of properties that I acquired in the last tax sale. Ooh, man, I got to make sure I pay my taxes on those properties or they're going to go back into the tax sale. Uh-oh. So, oops, I better get on that. So with those properties, I'm the owner, 100% owner. If they don't ever redeem their properties, I go to the lawyer, I file for quiet title, the title's transferred over to me. There's nothing the owner can do if they don't redeem. But Louisiana has a 3-year redemption period. And I was so excited, y'all. I was going to get shooters. Not shooters. Shooters is here. I was going to get a shooting range, and I was going to turn it into a facility, like a women's facility. And we were going to, utilize the shooting range. Like, don't get me wrong. I was going to pay somebody to come in and vend that. Right. But I was really excited because it was like 2 years and 11 months and they redeemed it. Now, did I make 41% interest on that investment? Yeah. Is that anywhere else you can make 41%? Very rarely, right? Was I happy to make 41%? Sure I was. Would I have liked to have had the building? Yes. But I'm going to tell you, I've been doing tax sales in Louisiana since the first one that I did was in 2017. The first one, and I have yet to acquire a property. Okay. So, it just hasn't happened. And so usually what you make is the interest, or I have one property from the very first tax sale. I didn't buy wisely, and they haven't redeemed it, and they haven't bought it, and they haven't done anything with it. But they have to, in order to do anything with it in the future. They'll have to get me off of it as long as the tax keeps getting paid. But the other ones I bought more wisely, and they've all been redeemed except for this last group that I just bought. And so that's a different way of doing it. If you are in a tax certificate state like Louisiana, which I think is the only one that does it this way, where you have a fractional ownership, like I was the 100% owner of these other properties, but there's other properties out there that I bought at fractional ownership, part owner of a gas station, part owner of this, part owner of that. Well, when the property matures, when you're allowed to claim it, you have some choices. You can petition through the law to partition the property, and you get your cut of it. Okay. Most of the properties that I bid on were not worth it, which is why I now do 100%, because it wasn't, it's not worth it to pay $15,000 to partition a a rental trailer that's only worth $45,000. It's just not worth it for my 4% of ownership. you know um so that's that one. Tax deeds, you just have to wait out the redemption period, and then you can file for eviction. A lot of people who win tax deeds, like in states like Texas, they don't even wait. They say, I'm the new owner, here's where you need to start paying your rent. And that could shake up the existing owner, who just lost their house, to redeem it. I think if it's I don't know, I don't even want to say, but there's a difference in Texas between homestead houses and non-homestead houses. But each state has a redemption period anywhere from 6 months. Louisiana is 3 years. That's the longest I've heard of. Okay. But again, it's every state is different and every jurisdiction is different. As far as remaining anonymous, the only way to remain anonymous is really to go through property manager or a property company and hide behind that shell. And I don't blame anybody for wanting to do that, especially if you're in a small town. It's a very smart thing to do. And so you just want to be aware of the different options. And I love the question. We'll talk more about that when we do our real estate investment class on Thursday. So in third Thursdays are real estate. And in January, we usually just start with the basics and we work our way through a bunch of topics ending in December. So every year we're giving you a complete real estate investment education. Now we are giving you a very generic real estate education, real estate investment education, because we're speaking to people all over the world. And so I don't have the specifics, but I do give recommendations in markets where I know good real estate investment groups. I give those recommendations so that you can talk to local investors who know the ins and outs of your local laws and your local jurisdiction, and they can steer you and guide you the right way. That's all I've got for you today. Y'all take care and be blessed.
Don't forget to like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and ask your question at ladiesofwealth.com.